Hi Virgo, welcome back to the Astrology 33 channel. This is your October 2024 tarot reading. Thank you to those of you who like, viewed, shared, and subscribed to the channel. I appreciate all of that. For those of you new to the channel, sort of what we have in front of us, the Celtic crossbred as always, and also pulled the 4 agreements and wisdom and oracle card for you guys. We're actually going to start the reading off by rolling those astrology dice we have in front of us to get an idea of where your focus should be as far as that goes. Alright, so we have 2 in second house energy for you guys is Libra. And of course, for the first few weeks of October, we'll be in Libra season. There's going to be a new moon eclipse in Libra right at the start of October. Mercury's going to be in there until around the middle of the month. So plenty of energy going on in your second house. And second house in general points to possession, self-worth, and finances. All right, we have Pisces. So Pisces is actually your 7th house of partnerships and relationships and contracts. Currently, we have Neptune retrograde in Pisces and Saturn retrograde in Pisces as well. And we have Uranus. So Uranus is actually in Taurus, which is your 9th house of philosophy, higher learning, and foreign affairs, also retrograde. And we'll keep all those in mind as we go through the main spread. All right, in the main situation position, we have the Magician, and challenging that, we have the Ace of Wands. So to me, this is saying that for a lot of you, you have all the tools at your disposal to make something happen. But I feel like this is the same with the Ace of Wands in the challenge position. It could just be that you haven't figured out quite what the plan of action will be yet, right? So maybe you have the awareness that you do have the tools that you need to take on whatever you're trying to take on, but it's just you're trying to figure out, okay, well, what's the first step I need to take? All right. In the foundation position, we have the Chariot. So this is Cancer energy here, which is your 11th house of friendships, groups, hopes, and wishes. And, I will say we do have Mars in that sign as well. So it could just be saying that it could be those in your environment who are going to be the key to actually creating that spark within you. So, for example, maybe while you're out with friends, the idea might finally hit you like, oh, okay, this is what I should do next, right? So something along those lines, or maybe even directly through communicating with them, you might get an idea of what you want to do next. So I feel like this is saying, in some way, the groups that you deal with this month are going to be pivotal to giving you that insight that you need on what you need to do next. All right, in the past position, we have the World. So yeah, to me, this is another indicator, kind of what we were saying with the Magician there, that you already learned what you needed to learn around the situation, right? But now it's just a matter of putting that into action. All right, in the present position, we have the Page of Pentacles. So yeah, you might still feel like a goal is just out of reach for you guys at this time. I always think of that with this card, the way that Pentacles is not quite in his position. So it'll just be one of those things where I feel like part of you knows that you have everything that you need in order to make something happen. But again, like I said, you just might be struggling with what that first step would be. All right. In the near future position, we have the Queen of Swords. So, of course, given that this is a Libra card, it makes sense to see this come up as well. I could just be saying that as we move through a Libra season, that might be the key that actually helps you figure out your next best step. And this could definitely be a financially related thing for a lot of you, given that Libra is second house energy. And we also saw that come up in the dice. All right. In the position of your influence in the situation, we have the Ace of Swords. So yeah, so for those of you, especially if it is a financially related thing, I feel like this is saying right off the bat with that new moon eclipse that we'll have in Libra, that might be when you finally do get the insight, like, oh, okay, now I know what I need to do, right? You have your plan of action and you'll be able to move forward. All right, in the environment position, we have the Page of Cups. So yeah, so for some of you, this could just be saying, like I was saying with the Chariot and the Foundation, I feel like the groups that you associate with might be key to actually lighting that spark for you guys this month. So it could just be one of those things where maybe someone says something casually, right? And you might see there's some flaws in the idea, but then you might be able to figure out what those flaws are and figure out, okay, this is actually a really workable idea. I just need to make some adjustments to it, and then you'll be able to hit the ground running. And for some of you, this is even come to a realization that if you have a plan in place, realizing that okay, yeah, it's not perfect, but I could sit on it forever and nothing will happen, right? So you might come to the realization that okay, even if it's not perfect just yet, I feel like it's best for me to move forward with it anyway. All right, in the hopes or fears position, we have the Nine of Swords. So I would at least hope this is coming across as more of a fear, right? Because we know this card doesn't look like the most pleasant energy to be in. So yeah, it could just be saying that maybe because you have already been thinking about this for so long that you're fearful of getting stuck in that cycle again. But from what I'm seeing, it looks like you're not really in danger of that happening this month. All right, and in the outcome position, we have Justice. So yeah, this looks like a great indicator. Again, more Libra energy for one, but also looks to me like it's saying that you'll finally strike that balance, right? Like, okay, you think through everything. What are the pros? What are the cons? What should I do? What's my next step forward? And then it looks like you'll finally be feeling like you're on firm footing as we get toward the end of the month, and you actually be able to act on it in that regard. And it could just be saying that, maybe you might realize that if there was a goal you've been struggling to hit, then maybe you've been getting in your own way in some way, right? Where it could just be saying, okay, all this time I was thinking about what to do, and then coming to the realization that, okay, I had all the tools at my disposal all along, right? I knew everything I needed to know, but it was just my overthinking that was leading to spinning my wheels versus getting the progress that I needed. So that looks like a good realization I have for sure. Bottom of the deck, we have the Ace of Pentacles. So yeah, a lot of Ace energy here. So I feel like this is saying that you're going to be feeling rejuvenated and refreshed. So that looks like a good thing there, which kind of makes sense, right? Because even as we were moving through your season, we had an eclipse. We were still wrapping up the post-retrograde period of the Mercury retrograde that happened back there in Leo season. So there were, elements there that said that, all right, normally you would view your season coming across as when you could really get a fresh start on things, but there were some things that might have made that a little bit of a more of a bumpy ride than usual. And now with all those energies clearing away, you might be able to get more momentum this month. All right, from the Four Agreements deck, we have Be Impeccable with Your Word, and it says Become a White Magician. Right? It says all the magic you possess is based on your word, and you can cast spells all the time with your opinions. You can either put a spell on someone with your word, or you can release someone from a spell. Interesting message there, right? So I feel like this is saying with that as well, right? So for example, like we were talking about how you might have been placing limitations on yourselves in some way, right? Thinking that, like I said, deep down, I feel like you knew that you had everything you needed. But again, like I said, it looks like there might have been a cycle of overthinking, right? So it could just be saying that not even externally, quote unquote, putting spells on others, but even just putting a spell on yourself and getting yourself stuck in a repetitive cycle where you kept spinning your wheels because you were overthinking around the situation. But of course, yeah, that could apply with others as well. All right, from the Wisdom of the Oracle, we have Round and Round. There's the artwork. The number is 25. We'll see what this has to say. All right, essential meanings. It says the spiral quality of events when a lesson isn't quite integrated, cycles you are challenged to break, revisiting a pattern from a new perspective. The Oracle's message. The appearance of this card is a reminder that although it may appear that you've gone backward, the truth is that you are standing at a higher level, looking down into your circumstances. You will learn something, do something better, and break a cycle set up in the past. You actually have a bird's eye view of your initial footprints and can access the wisdom and lessons learned. So yeah, definitely a positive message there for sure. Especially, we think of round and round, and that makes me think of the world as well, right? So it could just be saying that it's one of these things where you've gone through these experiences that you were learning from, right? But at the same time, you might feel like you weren't seeing the outward progress. So now you could be coming to the realization that, okay, yeah, I did learn what I need to learn, right? I can integrate what I've learned toward my next movements and get that forward momentum. All right, the relationship message says, are you wondering, how did I get here again? Does something feel familiar right now in your dynamics with others? Maybe a little too familiar? Don't be surprised that you found yourself repeating an old story with the same sort of person who may not look similar, but who attracted you because of your easy acquaintance with his or her qualities. Your relationship is a mix of what is good and what is potentially challenging. You have been drawn to this person through the perfection of Spirit's plan for your evolution. You may have circled back to an accustomed spot, a familiar place, but that's fine, as you get to do things again, only differently this time, for you learned something of great value since the last time around. How will you choose to behave now that you're aware? Remain curious and stay out of the blame game. So yeah, definitely an interesting message there. Like I said, for a lot of you, this seems like a goal we had in mind, and then through interacting with the groups in your circle, whether it be friendship or, career group, something along those lines, looks like you would finally get the insight on how to move forward with a situation. But if this is involving a romantic connection as well, hopefully that message resonated with you. All right. The prosperity message says, if you're in a scenario that appears to be an echo of something that's already happened in the past in your work life, it is because you're being invited to see what you couldn't see before. This is a perfect time for you to look at the deeper motives you have and your attraction to the opportunities and people who have entered your life to be a part of your journey to prosperity. Who helps you navigate? Who sabotages you? Who supports you? What are the familiar signs and your responses to them when you find yourself in a repeat of a pattern of the past? It's a good time to get a coach or mentor who can help you see what you can on your own. Repeat what works, not what doesn't. Then you will free yourself from the old cycles and cease going round and round. So yeah, definitely a positive message there because, like I said, it does seem like you will have some support in your environment. Even if it's just karmically, they might not even know the role that they're playing in your life in that regard. They could just say the right thing at the right time that, might have just seemed surface level, but it might really click for you as something deeper that helps move you forward. So hopefully that resonates with you guys. We'll wrap up there, and I'll see you all next month. All right, bye.